Hello friends, welcome to a new episode of Drishti IAS editorial analysis. In this editorial analysis, we do three things. First of all, we link the editorial to the UPSC syllabus. Secondly, we try to understand the key points of the editorial. And thirdly, if any key concepts have come in the editorial and are important from exam point of view, we also discuss them. So let us begin today's editorial analysis.
Dear viewer, this video is available in Hindi as well. If you wish to watch it, please visit our Hindi YouTube channel, Drishti IAS. For your convenience, the link for this video in Hindi has been provided in the description below.
We have taken today's editorial from the Hindustan Times and it has come on 25th of August. The title of the editorial is Announce Another Stimulus, and it says that demand and not liquidity is the key economic challenge that is being faced by the Indian economy, and the government must take steps to address it. Now let us look at its linkage with the syllabus. So we find that it links directly with GS paper 3, where we have economic development as one of the important areas of the syllabus. Under this, it links with Indian economy and issues relating to planning, mobilization of resources, growth, development and employment. As basically this editorial is focused on the problem of demand in the economy and which is majorly impacting the MSME sector. So after establishing the linkage with the syllabus, now let us look at the key points of the editorial. So before moving on to the key points of the editorial, let us try to understand what is ailing the MSME sector, which is one of the mainstays of Indian economy. So here in this infograph, we can see that in a survey of at least 3,000 MSMEs, which was carried out by the National Small Industries Corporation, it shows that how some sectors have been affected by COVID-19. The sectors which have been affected the most are apparel, auto manufacturers, automotive suppliers, consumer durables, gems and jewelry, lodging, tourism, passenger airlines, and retail, which is non-food. And the sectors for which this development has been positive are internet service providers, obviously as things have moved to the online space, the retail online, that is also doing well, the medical devices market, that has also shown an uptick. The healthcare products and services, packaging, and digital media streaming, etc. have all shown upward trend, and also pharmaceuticals. While it has been medium for manufacturing, construction materials, metals and mining, renewable energy, real estate developers, etc. And the impact has been low for sectors like defense, real estate rentals, technology hardware, information technology, and ITES. Food retail, telecommunication, waste management, agriculture and dairy. Now why MSMEs are so important for the Indian economy? So they employ around 110 million people. So almost 1/4 of the workforce of India is working in the MSME sector. Also the MSME sector, after the recent reclassification by the government, accounts for almost 30% of the GDP. So this is also huge. And they also account for almost half of the India's exports. So they are accounting for almost half of the exports of India. So this makes MSME sector very important, employing almost 1/4 of the workforce, 30% contribution to the GDP and 50% of the exports contribution. That makes MSME one of the mainstays of Indian economy. And that is why when they are not doing well, the Indian economy is also not doing well. And as per the presentation of the Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Ministry, only 1 in 4 of India's MSMEs were using even half of their installed capacity as on August 1, 2020. And this is very troubling for the economy as a whole. Also, it says that the nature of economic challenge is undergoing a transformation. And initially, the problem was related to liquidity. That means the MSMEs were not having access to funds. But with the government coming up with measures to boost the liquidity, that problem is no longer that much prominent. But other problems have cropped up. And the most important is the falling demand and disruptions in supply chains and logistics. In fact, the 5 major problems of MSMEs, as pointed out by the ministry document, are problem with the raw material sourcing, problem of the fresh orders or demand declining, the labor shortage, the liquidity crunch, and the problem with the logistics. Also, as per the report, the government's key post-pandemic scheme, which was ECLGS, which stands for Emergency Credit Line Guarantee Scheme. Now, this scheme was supposed to boost the liquidity for MSMEs, but it has been used by just 6% of the MSMEs till August 6th. So, the uptake from this scheme has also not been good, and the major issue has been this falling demand. After the unlock, most of the MSMEs have now opened up, but they are working at almost half of their capacity or even less. And this is validated by the government data as well, which says that only 9% of the MSMEs had not opened for business as on August 1st. That means over 91% of the MSMEs are back in business, but they are operating at half the capacity or even less. So after this brief background, let us look at the key points of the editorial. So the editorial starts by saying that the Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises has reported that as on August 1st, 3/4 of India's MSMEs were working at less than half of their potential capacity, and more than 90% had opened up, indicating that the unlock process, at least in principle, has been almost completed. And it says that these statistics underline the central economic challenge facing the economy, which is now not of liquidity so much as it is about the demand. So the demand in the economy is declining, and this can only be corrected by putting money in the pockets of the consumers. And for that, the government needs to come out with another round of fiscal stimulus. The editorial says that just allowing enterprises to open is not going to restore the status quo ante. Now here we should know this term, what is meant by status quo ante. So status quo ante means restoring the previous position or situation as it was existing before. And we have been hearing this term more often in the context of the conflict in line of actual control between India and China, where the Indian side is demanding from China that you have to restore the status quo ante as it was existing in April. Now coming back to this topic, the editorial says that allowing enterprises to open is not going to restore the status quo ante by itself, which existed before the pandemic forced a nationwide lockdown. So the editorial wants to say that it will need some more doing from the government, and just saying that unlock is beginning and now you can open up the enterprises is not going to bring the demand back in the economy. The government will need to do more. Also, the editorial says that the economy was not in great shape even before the pandemic struck. The economy was already in a slowdown, and the editorial gives data to substantiate that point, that in 2016-17, the growth rate of the economy was 8.3%, which came down to 7% in 2017-18 and down to 6.1% in 18-19, and in 19-20 it was just 4.2%, and in 2020-21 we are looking at a contraction of the economy by 5% or more. So this is going to be very difficult and problematic for the Indian economy. Next, the editorial talks about the role played by the MSMEs. So it says that MSMEs now account for almost 30% of the GDP, and they employ almost 1/4 of India's workers. Plus their contribution to India's exports is almost around 50%. So these are some important statistics that we should remember and we can use in our answer writing in mains, that 30% contribution to the GDP, 1/4 contribution to the workforce employment, and 50% contribution to the exports. So this makes MSME sector vital for Indian economy. And the editorial says that an overwhelming share of MSMEs are not even using their existing capacity, which means that they are facing a crisis of demand. There is low demand in the economy. And the editorial says that if this situation is allowed to persist by the government, then it will generate a vicious cycle. And what kind of vicious cycle? So it says that the firms will start laying off the workers, because when there will be no demand, there is going to be no revenues. So the firms will not be able to pay their workforce and they will resort to laying off the workers. The laid off workers will be losing their salaries, which will further squeeze the demand in the economy. The orders for new investments and raw materials will be postponed or cancelled, and this will lead to yet another round of job losses and demand depression. So this is going to lead to a vicious cycle if the government does not act fast. Further on, the editorial says that these kind of developments will also have an adverse impact on the financial sector, because as the revenues will start falling, the loan defaults will increase, which will add to the existing mountain of bad debt, or NPAs as they are called, non-performing assets. And all these developments will have adverse implications for India's economic recovery, both in the short term as well as in the medium term. So the Indian government has to rise to the occasion and come up with a new fiscal stimulus. The editorial says that breaking this vicious cycle will require urgent policy intervention by the government, and it says that the government was wise enough to focus on liquidity challenges in its initial response to COVID-19, but now it needs to do more because right now demand and not liquidity is the main challenge facing the economy. And the editorial says that at this time, when the consumer and business sentiment is down, the only way to boost demand is through a fiscal stimulus by the government. Because the government has been able to address the liquidity challenge, whereby it has assured the bankers that you lend the money and even if there is a default, we will cover your back. But the businessman and the investors, they are not willing to borrow money from the bank and invest in business because they do not see demand in the economy, and this needs to be addressed first. And this can be addressed by a fiscal stimulus from the government which puts money in the hands of the consumers. Finally, the editorial says that while there is some merit in the argument that it should be timed appropriately, which is the fiscal stimulus should be timed appropriately, but at the very least, a roadmap should be laid out by the government as soon as possible, and any further delay on this front will only make the situation worse. So the government needs to urgently come out with a fiscal stimulus or at least a roadmap for the fiscal stimulus that will create demand in the economy, which is not present. So this was all in the key points of the editorial. Now let us look at some key concepts. So in key concepts, let us look at the role of MSME in the Indian economy and the latest change in definitions done by the government. So the MSME sector or micro, small and medium enterprises has emerged as a highly vibrant and dynamic sector of the Indian economy over the last 5 decades. It not only plays an important role in providing huge employment opportunities, but also helps in industrialization of rural areas, thereby contributing enormously to the socio-economic development of the country. So this is very important role being played by MSME sector. We have already seen that the sector accounts for 30% of India's GDP as of now, and almost 45% of the merchandise exports are also done by this sector only. And it makes huge contributions to the employment generation and also to rural industrialization by its less capital intensive and high labor absorption nature. One important thing to note here is that MSMEs generate the highest employment per capita investment. So this is very important, that whatever investment is being done in MSME sector, that leads to the highest employment per capita investment. And it is also the second largest employment provider after agriculture in India. And as per the data available, there are nearly 56 million such enterprises in various industries, employing close to 124 million people. Also, another important point to note here is that nearly 14% are women-led enterprises and close to 60% are based in rural areas. So, MSME sector is playing a very big role in the socio-economic development of the country. And this sector is ideally suited to build on the strength of traditional skills and knowledge by infusion of technologies, capital, and innovative marketing practices. It is also helping in arresting the rural-urban migration by setting up units in rural areas and providing sustainable livelihood to the people in such areas. So it is also helping in the balanced regional development. Moreover, the MSMEs are complementary to large-scale industries by providing them with backward linkages and also providing them with necessary raw materials and ancillary components. So they are playing a very big role in the industrialization of the country as well. Also, they are an instrument of inclusive growth by empowering people and breaking the cycle of poverty. So this is also an important point and can be cited in your answer. Now let us look at the recent change in definition of MSME, which has been done by the government during this COVID-19 pandemic. So as part of the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, the definition of MSME has been revised, and the government has broadened the definition of MSMEs by revising the limit of investment in machinery or equipment and introducing a turnover criteria. Earlier, the MSMEs were defined on the basis of investments that was put in these enterprises. But this definition criteria of investment was criticized because credible and precise details of investments were not easily available to the authorities. Also, another major change has been that there will be no more distinction between manufacturing and service sector MSMEs as was the case earlier. Now they will be defined similarly. So now let us look at the revised MSME classification. So here we have the micro, small and medium enterprises, and the manufacturing and services sector. They were in the earlier classification dealt separately, but now they have been combined together. So there is no separation. The same criteria apply to MSMEs in manufacturing and services. So for micro enterprises, the investment limit is up to rupees 1 crore and the turnover has to be less than rupees 5 crore. For a small enterprise, the investment has to be less than rupees 10 crore and the turnover has to be less than rupees 50 crore. So this is very easy to remember. Only you are adding a zero to both the criteria. So investment becomes 1 to 10 and the turnover becomes 5 to 50. And when we go from small to medium, the investment increases to 50 and the turnover increases to 250 crores. So this is the latest classification and this can be asked in the exam. And here one more important thing that we should note is why this classification has been changed. So a major problem with the MSME sector has been that the enterprises in these sectors have continued to remain small. They have not grown. So the benefits that they were getting by being small and being under the definition of MSME, that was not allowing them to grow. So the government has that's why increased these limits. And now the idea is that the micro enterprises will become small enterprises, the small enterprises will become medium enterprises, and the medium enterprises will go on to become big industrial corporates. So after this, let us look at the kind of questions that can be asked in prelims and mains. So in prelims, the question can be directly asked about the MSMEs, the new classification. So we should know how much investment and turnover has been allowed in the following categories of micro, small and medium. Also question can be asked about the measures that have been announced by the government for MSME sector during this COVID-19 pandemic. So we should know schemes like the ECLGS, which is the Emergency Credit Line Guarantee Scheme that has been introduced for the MSME sector. In mains, the question can be about the vital role that is being played by the MSME sector in India's growth. So you can substantiate it by giving some statistics and how MSME is playing a vital role in the socio-economic development of India. Then a question can also be asked on the new classification and how it will help the MSMEs to become big. And finally, a question can also be asked about the challenges and opportunities for the MSME sector. So here we should be able to list out what are the problems that are being faced by the MSME sector. For example, the current problems that the MSME sector is facing can be remembered easily by this acronym, which is RFL3. So R here stands for the raw materials, F stands for the fresh orders, which is the demand, and L stands for labor, liquidity, and the logistics. So these are the major problems which the MSME sector is facing and they need to be addressed. So this was all in today's editorial analysis. We'll see you next time with another editorial. Thank you.